Okay, right then, let's just get this thing all sorted out. Oh, hello everybody. So, today NextGen I'm going to show you how to use the graph editor in Maya. I'm going to show you what that is and how useful function it is going to be for your studies. Not really useful, it's a sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Necessary, absolutely essential for you to be able to create animations that have a realistic, believable, natural movements, timings and spacings with them. Okay, so first of all, let's create a little spear here, and just move that up slightly. Let's just see what's going on here. Okay, so you can see it's roughly on the plane. So first of all, what's useful to know is that if I press the spacebar here, it brings up 4 different viewports. Okay, one in perspective, yeah, that one there. The others, as you can see, if I try to pan around on that, it won't let me because it's orthographic view. Okay, so this one is from the top, from the front, and from the side. Okay, really useful. So say for instance, if I'm in perspective mode here, and I want to make sure that that is sitting perfectly on the base there. There we go. Okay. Now, although these are very useful and you will get used to using them in various ways, if you hover over one of them, okay, and press spacebar, it will maximise the screen on that one. Okay. The menu system at the top of the panels are specific to those panels. So, for instance, if I go into panels here and go to perspective, it will give me another perspective one here. Okay. If you wanted to give yourself a little bit more real estate, okay, it's a good way of doing it like that. Now the way that we normally have it set up is a 3-way split. So you can either do it by going panels here and layouts, 3-pane split top, like so, okay, or you can go into it here. I think if you press your right mouse, that gives you the options as well. You can also save the layout. Okay, so you want to call it animation or my first layout or something incredibly exciting like that. So this is one way you normally have a camera, and we'll get to that when you start to create some good animations. And then you can kind of get the composition right as to how you want to pose and visualize your scenes. This one we have in perspective mode so that we can rotate around and grab the things we need to grab and move them around. At the bottom here we have the graph editor. So at the moment it's just on the side view. So if I go into panels here and go to panel graph editor, there we go. So the graph editor is the sort of visual interpretation of the objects moving through time and space. So let me show you what that means. So let me go into the perspective here. So if I take that ball here and bring it over to the left hand side, you can see even though my auto keyframe toggle is on, it's not made a keyframe, and it won't do it until you won't start that function until you made your first one. So if I press S now, you can see it's made that keyframe. So at the first frame, it's over there, and let's budget forward to a couple of seconds in. Actually, let's do it. Let's do it a couple of seconds in. So we're on 48. There you go. So you can set it here, 48. If you want to be really specific about it, and you probably will at various points. You can also, before we sort of get into this, you can also pan like so, and sort of drag around here, in the same way that you can on your other screens here. If you want to see the whole thing, you press A, and it'll put all of the keyframes into the visual window there. So on frame 48, let's move across the screen here. Okay, let's just press A again there. Okay, so you can see that it's kind of interpolated that into a slight sort of linear curve there. So if I move that back and play it, okay, so you see it's sort of eases out of the starting position and then eases into the end position. So the structure of the graph editor here is that across the x-axis you've got time adding the same as the timeline here and up here, and then on the y-axis up here you've got the value that is being displayed here. So for instance, if we just choose translate x, which is the one that we are obviously moving from left to right on, this is the middle of the screen here. That's the middle of the plane, okay, and the value here is that it's moved to the, because it's on the x-axis, moved negatively. Yeah, so this is positive, it's moved negatively away from there. Okay, so negative 20 over there. Okay, so it eases out of negative 20 and then it starts to speed up, so it starts to go up the x-axis. So at the moment here, it's hardly breaking the x-axis at all. Yeah, it's getting very, very shallow, and then it's speeding up. Okay, and then it's shallowing out again, so it's barely changing on that x-axis again. Okay, now you can take these points and move them around. Yeah, so if I just wanted to move it to the center point there, okay, you can put that on the 0 value. Okay, now the great thing about the graph editor is that you really don't want your graphs moving around in a crazy fashion. You really want to make sure that they are sort of smooth and controlled. So if I take all of those, so just wrap a selection around that and put it onto a linear fashion, you can see now it's moving across the screen at the same pace, yeah, the same speed. Okay, so if I wanted to flatten that one out, I can get this one here. For some reason that doesn't. Let's just see if I can do it with my mouse. It doesn't seem to be giving me the. Oh, that's curious. Okay, let me just set that because it's useful to know this. So if we go into preferences, I'm going to interface help. It should be showing that. Let's just do that. Let's save it. And let's just try that one more time. Display tooltips. Save. Okay, so there we go. Okay. So if I was to flatten out, you can see flat tangents, take that one there and flatten it out. Yeah, you can see it flattens that value out. So it's just going to ease into that now. So let's just play that and see what we get. There you go. Okay, so it just slowly comes to the stop point there. Okay, so this is the nature of how you change your timings. This is the one that you'll probably be using the most, which is the spline one. Okay, and with that one, like in previous tutorials, it allows you to be able to take the tangents and move them around as you want to. So obviously you can, for instance, if we're halfway through the animation here, you can set another keyframe, and let's just take that, and you can bash them around however you want to, really. Yes, that's the nature of how you be able to control different aspects. Kind of just grabbing these things. In actual fact, what you can do to move as well, instead of having to grab the handles of things all the time, in fact this is quite useful to know, you can even do it over here. So if I'm on the move tool over there, I can hold down the middle mouse and move it around. Okay. It just saves you having to stare at the screen like that and keep on picking things. Okay, so that is the graph editor. Let me think what else is there. Yes, what's quite useful actually is the zoom tool here. Now that's just kind of frustrating in that the zoom here is, if I wanted to zoom in on part of the asset here, is it doing it? It is doing it. Yeah, I think it's set. Let me just show you how to do that. So if we go to View, Camera Tools, and the dolly tool, let's just click there. Oh, strange. Seems to have, all the settings seem to have gone. Let's just make that full screen, go back into that. Okay, so if you reset it, this is the default settings. Okay, so when you're zooming in on something, you want to be able to not have to, just get the mouse there, not have to constantly keep on moving like that and then sort of scrubbing forwards and then moving like that, scrubbing forwards. If you take that off towards center, and you can see that now, let me just zoom out and you get a sense of it. If I was over here and zoom, it's going to do it there. If I'm over here and zoom, it's zooming in a little bit there. Okay, it's really useful. I'm not quite sure why that's not the default. Anyway, there you go. So hopefully that's a kind of a breakdown for you. Next one is that we're going to do the bouncing ball.